The New Bloodline and Bronson Reed were defeated in yesterday night's War Games match at Survivor Series. According to a message delivered by Jacob Fatu, he responded to Reed's message on social media. Fatu and his crew gave it their all, but they couldn't overcome all Bloodline and CM Punk. Roman Reigns' squad surrounded Solo Sikoa in the final moments of the men's War Games match, giving his side the win. With folded hands, the Samoan werewolf thanked Big Bronson Reed on X, aka Twitter. From the War Games cage, the Auszilla tried to unleash a massive tsunami on Reigns, but thanks to the best in the world, it missed. Rikishi thinks that babyface status for Jacob Fatu in WWE is inevitable. A veteran thinks the Samoan werewolf will flip on Braun Breaker in retaliation for their last encounter on Monday Night Raw. Rikishi said that Fatu's face transformation would include the WWE Universe on the Off the Top podcast. According to him, Jacob Fatu has only lost twice since making his WWE debut. His debut was in a tag team match at Bad Blood, when he and Solo Sikoa faced off against Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. He lost his most recent match yesterday night in the men's War Games. The Samoan werewolf has managed to avoid being pinned or surrendered despite these two defeats. Fatu made his televised debut as a singles wrestler on the Go Home broadcast of SmackDown before Survivor Series. In a War Games advantage match, he prevailed against JUSO. In the next weeks, the Blue brand is set to unveil the plans for the 32-year-old and the Bloodline on the Stanford-based campaign. After WWE Survivor Series War Games, the aftermath was just as loud as the fights. Alliances formed in the heat of battle, and fates carved in blood made for an emotional and tumultuous War Games contest. The epicenter of the chaos was none other than Samoan behemoth Jacob Fatu, who had an unexpected and amazing WWE debut at this year's War Games. His squad lost despite his tremendous efforts and dogged persistence. After the bout, Jacob Fatu went on social media to give his colleagues and the WWE Universe an honest, raw message. The setting for Fatu's video is a poorly lit gym. Fatu starts to talk while wearing a plain black sweatshirt, his long hair pulled back, and his face showing signs of the severe fight. He exclaims, "Last night was war," in a deep, gravelly voice that carries an intense, unfiltered tone. Who you are, your strength, and your self-confidence are all irrelevant in the face of war. You lose everything in a war, and you get nothing back. His pupils constrict as he takes a moment to collect himself. We went to battle last night as brothers, and yes, we were unsuccessful. Wow, that hurts. That hurts. Listen, I'm telling you this. We marched out like warriors even though we didn't lift our arms. As if to captivate his audience, Fatu moves ever so slightly closer to the camera. Listen up, guys, last night wasn't a loss, he says to his teammates, his voice becoming softer, but no less determined. A lesson was learned. Everything we did in that cage, from throwing punches to taking hits, was not in vain. With a sudden breath out, he rubs his fingers through his hair. Your name. You were the one who started the fire. You faced up against some of the most notorious figures in the industry, and you refused to back down. Due regard. When things got wild in there, teammate's name. You were the rock that kept us all together. That match would have crumbled had you not been there. By the way, teammate's name. You're amazing. I get it, dude. You hunt instead of fighting. I'm glad I was able to fight with you guys. With a tightening of his visage, Fatu's tone darkens. But come on, this is far from done. The men inside the cage believe they have triumphed. They feel like they've established something. However, they are unaware of the impending disaster. Was it this setback? It is used as fuel. There's fire. They are unprepared for what's about to happen. With a mischievous grin on his lips, Fatu reclines, crossing his arms. Their decision last night was incorrect. A beast was aroused. And creatures? We keep this in mind. We are not forgiving. Consequently, my comrades, let's make advantage of this. We should hone our skills. We should return even more formidable, vicious, and ravenous. Furthermore, to the men who believe they have us beat, you should be cautious. Considering the nature of this conflict, we have a long way to go. As Fatu speaks his last words, his intense gaze becomes visible. There will be more. It's just the start, and we will complete what we began when the time is right. Both the audience and the wrestlers felt the impact of Jacob Fatu's speech. He demonstrated in little time at all why he is among the most fascinating and exciting characters in modern wrestling. He spoke with an intensity that belied his humility, demonstrating his resolve as a leader who was hell-bent on uniting his team and finding atonement. In response, Fatu's legion of admirers gushed over his genuine enthusiasm and candor on social media. His future in WWE was the subject of much speculation. Would his defeat at War Games set him up for a dominating streak in singles play? Is it possible that this may reignite tensions with the other War Games squad, paving the way for a future showdown? A number of Fatu's colleagues quickly replied to his letter, expressing their appreciation and offering their own perspectives. "You, Jacob, are the only one I would choose to have in the trenches," one of your teammates said. "We will return with more courage." After the game, one fan shared a picture of the squad standing together with the message, "Brothers in war, brothers in life." This is far from finished.